Listen closely, because this will sting. If your love life keeps circling the same drain, if you keep falling for the same patterns wearing different faces, it is not an accident. It is a mirror. And right now, it is showing you something you don't want to see. You clicked on this because the title promised a dark truth about women. But here is the twist. The dark truth is not about them. It's about you, about the way desire, ego, and fear distort your judgment until you mistake your own projection for reality. Schopenhauer saw this distortion clearly. He called it the will, blind, restless, urgent. It drives you toward what you want while blinding you to what it costs. Let's be honest. You don't really want the truth at the start of a relationship. You want a story that flatters you. You want to believe you are chosen for your essence, not your utility, that you're safe from rejection, that this time will be different because you earned it, manifested it, or finally became enough. The will loves that story. It rewards you with a hit of meaning, and meaning is addictive. Schopenhauer warned that we are not rational beings who sometimes feel. We are feeling beings who sometimes rationalize. Modern psychology agrees. Confirmation bias filters what contradicts your hopes. Halo effects make beauty look like virtue. Scarcity makes attention feel like destiny. You don't see a whole person, you see a promise. Consider a simple scene. Two people meet, chemistry sparks. You tell yourself it's rare. You tell yourself rarity equals value. You rearrange your schedule, your priorities, your boundaries. You notice a small lie and look away. You sense that your core values do not fully align, but you call yourself open-minded. And when your friend asks if you're moving too fast, you accuse them silently of not understanding great love. This is not romance. This is bargaining with your future self. Schopenhauer's pessimism is often caricatured as woman-hating. The truth is more uncomfortable. He distrusted the illusions that surround sex and love because he saw how quickly the will hides the bill. In his language, the species uses you to reproduce its aims while convincing you that you are acting freely. In modern terms, biology, status drives, and social incentives quietly shape what looks like a purely personal choice. You feel sovereign, you are partially scripted, but scripted does not mean hopeless. It means you must learn to read the script. Here is one line from the script that many men ignore. You are not owed romance for being good. Attraction does not settle moral debts. It doesn't care about your quiet sacrifices, your long explanations, or your internal monologue about how loyal you are. Attraction is a complex response to signals of self-respect, vitality, boundaries, competence, alignment. If your life subtly broadcasts neediness disguised as devotion, desperation disguised as depth, or control disguised as care, the response will be confusion at best, avoidance at worst. That is not cruelty. It is clarity. Another line you ignore. People, men and women, seek partners who lower existential risk. Sometimes that means emotional safety, sometimes social status, sometimes financial stability, sometimes intellectual resonance. Often, it's a messy mixture. When your identity rests on being chosen rather than being worthy, you judge those preferences as betrayal. You call them superficial or manipulative. But preferences are data. They show you what is valued in the marketplace you're actually in, not the one you imagine. If you hate the marketplace, you still have two choices: transform your value or change your market. Complaining is not strategy. Let's test your narratives with 3 questions. 1. If this exact behavior came from someone you were not attracted to, would you still call it love, or would you call it a red flag? 2. If you could not win this person, would you still see them as uniquely virtuous, or would you suddenly notice their incompatibilities? 3. If you removed your fear of being alone, would this relationship still make sense? If your answers shift, you are not in love with a person. You are in love with relief. Schopenhauer's language can sound harsh. The world is will and representation. But his insight is surgical. What you call love often begins as the will masquerading as wisdom, and when the will is in charge, you behave like a gambler chasing losses. You double down after every withdrawal of attention. You justify disrespect in the name of loyalty. You confuse endurance with virtue, silence with strength, and fantasy with faith. Here is the clean cut. Respect is not a downstream effect of persistence. It is a precondition. If you start by betraying yourself, your boundaries, values, and standards, you will end by being betrayed. The uncomfortable truth many men ignore is not that women are X. It's that your unexamined hunger makes anyone look like X. The figure you chase becomes a screen for your emptiness. You think you're seeing nature, you're seeing need. Critical thinking demands you test your perceptions against reality. Historical context helps. In Schopenhauer's time, social roles were rigid, legal rights were unequal, and marriage was often a contract of property and lineage. Of course, observers read desire through power. The present is not free from this. Status and incentives still shape mating dynamics. But you are freer than he was. You can choose honesty over romance, boundaries over bargaining, growth over grievance. So, what does choosing growth actually look like? First, practice sober seeing. Replace the dopamine filter with the discipline filter. Write down your non-negotiables before you meet anyone. Values, lifestyle, conflict habits, life goals. When the spark hits, compare reality to your list. If 3 core values are misaligned, do not call it destiny. Call it a beautiful number. Second, protect your center. Don't ghost your own life to orbit someone else's. Keep your training, your work, your friends, your sleep. Attraction tests the structural integrity of your identity. If it collapses under pressure, you didn't have love. You had a hostage situation. Third, speak plainly early. Honesty is a sorting mechanism, not a sales pitch. If your clarity scares someone away, they saved you time you would have paid for with your soul. Fourth, respect what people show you. If words and actions diverge, believe the actions. If boundaries are negotiated only under threat, you don't have a relationship, you have a truce. Fifth, raise your standard of self-respect, not arrogance, not bravado, dignity, the kind that does not beg, does not chase chaos, and does not justify disrespect, no matter how bored, lonely, or flattered you feel. Dignity is the antidote to the will's panic. Let's return to the mirror. Suppose the dark truth about women you wanted was this: that desire is strategic, that affection can be conditional, that love negotiates resources and status as well as feelings. There is some reality here, but reducing anyone to a strategy misses the deeper revelation. When you expect love to heal your self-abandonment, you burden another human with a job that only character can do. Schopenhauer did not write to make you bitter. He wrote to make you lucid. The will is not evil. It is power without sight. Your task is to give it eyes. Here is a story you already know, because you have lived it. You meet someone magnetic. You imagine a future. You mute your instincts because you crave certainty. The first conflict arrives and you explain it away. A second follows, sharper, and you call it growth. You stop organizing your life around your mission and start organizing it around their moods. Slowly, quietly, you become unfamiliar to yourself. Then comes the moment of reckoning, when your reflection refuses to lie for you. You realize that what you called love was a negotiation you kept losing because you refused to name your price. You walk away, or you don't. Either way, you learn. If you walk away, you grieve not only a person, but an illusion, the fantasy that someone could make your life meaningful without you becoming meaningful to yourself. That funeral is sacred. Bury the illusion with dignity. Then build your life like someone who plans to invite love into it, not escape into it. Critical thinking is romantic, not because it drains the magic out of love, but because it protects love from being replaced by illusion. A clear eye makes for a warmer heart. The people who love best are not the ones who worship you. They are the ones who can see you, and you cannot be seen until you stop hiding from your own motives. So, ask yourself right now, am I pursuing a person or relief? Am I honoring my values or bargaining with them? Am I building a life that attracts the kind of love I admire? Or am I just hoping for a miracle to rescue me from the work I keep postponing? Your answers will feel like a chill wind. Good. That wind is called reality, and it is the only climate in which love can breathe. Here is the final, unsettling mercy. The dark truth that Schopenhauer hinted at is not a verdict on women. It is a warning to the sleepwalker in all of us. When desire drives and ego navigates, every road looks like a shortcut. Wake up, take the wheel, set a destination worthy of you. Then invite a companion who wants to travel, not a passenger who wants to be carried. And if you must keep a single line from this essay, keep this. Love does not reward the man who waits to be chosen. It meets the man who has already chosen his values, his boundaries, his mission, his pace. The will is strong. Make your character stronger, because in the end, the most dangerous illusion was never women. It was the comforting thought that you could remain unexamined and still be loved well. Think about that the next time the mirror looks back and asks, without mercy, are you in love with a person or with your favorite excuse?